It's not just you. Everyone is seeing shelves getting emptier in the second half of 2023. And that trend will only intensify as we head towards the end of the year. Our supply chains are in a much more vulnerable state than most people realize. From cyberattacks to labor and component shortages, the production of several items have been disrupted this year, and now popular cleaning products, smartphones, and even laxatives are becoming harder to find. If you're tired of leaving the store empty-handed, this video will help you to know which essential supplies are already sold out and which ones are likely to disappear from sight in the coming weeks and months. With multiple shortages hitting thousands of stores and rampant cases of respiratory infections rising across the globe, things can get really chaotic for retailers and grocers over the next couple of months. So without further ado, let's check out this list to prepare for what's coming next. 1. Clorox products. Clorox, the maker of the popular cleaner and the owner of several brands, including Tilex, Burt's Bees, Glad Plastic Bags, Pine Sol, Formula 409, Liquid Plumber Cleaners, Hidden Valley Seasonings, Kingsford Charcoal, Brighter Water Filters, and Fresh Step Cat Litter, has suffered a massive cyber attack last month, which severely damaged its internal systems and is causing production and shipment delays right now. The company said it has recently begun to experience an elevated level of consumer product availability issues, given that it's processing orders at a slower than normal rate. Not only consumers are facing empty shelves, but many companies who use its products are also experiencing shortages. In addition to its vast collection of household goods, Clorox serves commercial industries, including hospitals, schools, and businesses. The brand didn't say when the operational problems might be resolved or how long it will take to get its systems back to normal. A representative said the company is seeing multiple items across its portfolio of products in short supply at U.S. stores. 2. Smartphones. Did you know that the number of smartphone brands around the world has dropped by 2/3 over the past 6 years? At its peak in 2017, the global smartphone market saw more than 700 brands fiercely competing. By 2023, the number of active brands that have recorded sell-through volumes has fallen to just 250, according to Counterpoint's global handset model sales tracker across 70 key countries. To make things worse, brands expected to report higher sales volumes during last year's holiday season, but that simply didn't happen. So many of them decided to cut production in 2023, right as the global chip shortage started to bite again. To make things worse, several plants in China have closed permanently or temporarily because of the shortage of other key components. In August, smartphone production declined by 15.5% compared to the same period a year ago, reaching their lowest volume in a decade. Right now, the market is undersupplied, and any sudden uptick in demand can lead to shortages that may only be solved by the latter half of 2024. 3. Laxatives. A disturbing trend rising amongst young Americans is making more and more people addicted to laxatives, and that is causing a major shortage. Healthcare experts say that young consumers are buying large quantities of the product to use it as a weight loss medication. Demand for laxatives has increased so rapidly this year that now many pharmacies are reporting shortages. A Sanofi spokesperson said, "Over the past few months, we've seen unprecedented demand for Dulcolax products. As a result, some retailers may not have certain Dulcolax products on their shelves." Doctors do not recommend the use of this medication for purposes other than constipation relief or cleansing of the large intestine before a medical procedure on the digestive system. At many locations, purchasing limits are also being introduced to prevent supplies from collapsing in the coming months. 4. MACARONI. Macaroni, the favorite pasta dish of many Americans, is now falling victim to the global pasta shortage that has been gripping the market for the past 18 months. A global shortage of flour is making it harder for flour makers like Barilla and Kraft to maintain a steady production of the most in-demand dried pasta types in the US, which includes spaghetti and, above all, macaroni. This dependable pantry staple has also gone up in price by 29% since 2021, with the average retail price at $1.69. For several families, some warm mac and cheese used to be a filling, cheap and easy to make comfort food that could feed the entire family. But now, you may struggle to find the brand you like, and you'll also have to pay significantly more for it. 5. Cold cuts. Cold cuts such as ham, salami, pepperoni, deli lunch meats, and more are being impacted by a global shortage of an unusual component. The world is facing a shortage of carbon dioxide, which is a byproduct of ethanol production that's used to conserve these types of meats. Ethanol is a biomass made by fermenting the sugar in the starches of grains such as corn, sorghum, and barley, and the sugar in sugarcane and sugar beets, and pretty much every single one of these commodities is in short supply this year. Thus, ethanol production is low in 2023, and so are supplies of carbon dioxide. Even though you may think this component is just used in drinks like soda and beer, it's actually present in more food products than people normally assume. Cold cuts are preserved with what's called modified atmospheric packaging. Essentially, carbon dioxide and other gases are pumped in, and oxygen is removed from the packaging to give the product a longer shelf life. Now, the Wall Street Journal reported that food maker Kraft has warned retailers of a potential shortage of cold cuts like turkey, bologna, due to the shortage. Kraft noted severely constrained carbon dioxide supplies and other issues as the cause of the potential cold cut shortage. Experts with food manufacturing noted that if production of this gas continues to decline, whole batches of foods could spoil, so food processors should stay ahead of possible disruptions. 6. Frozen chicken nuggets. Believe it or not, another product affected by the carbon dioxide shortage is frozen chicken nuggets. Although chicken production has finally started to recover, the shortage of this important preservant is keeping food processors from packaging and distributing this beloved snack in a timely manner right now. In fact, many other items are being impacted by the same disruption. According to Meat and Poultry, during the production of frozen foods, everything from pizza to chicken breasts move through carbon dioxide-filled tunnels to be frozen quickly. The proper amount of the gas is required to avoid hot spots that could translate to mold and bacteria growth. Only then, food makers are able to send their products to the stores. So, chicken nugget lovers, be alert. If you find any sales at your local supermarket, don't miss the opportunity to stock up on it. 7. Corn chips. You may see empty shelves for some of your favorite corn chips this fall and winter. In fact, on TikTok and Reddit, users are already reporting a series of shortages of corn-based snacks. Some of them include Fritos, Doritos, Pringles Loud and multi-grain chips, Nacho corn chips, Ritz roasted corn chips, Takis, and Trader Joe's organic corn chip dippers. Global corn production has declined by almost 17% since 2020. It all started when temperatures started to rise far above normal, causing droughts in many regions and floodings in others, conditions that destroyed millions of acres of corn crops around the world. The eruption of the Russia-Ukraine strife has aggravated the shortage, given that both countries were major suppliers of wheat and other grains, and they were no longer able to keep exporting these commodities, which pushed demand for corn to soar at a time when supplies were already shrinking. Not only corn prices have gone up by 40% since then, but corn-based products are becoming increasingly harder to find. For those who can't live without their snacks, buying in bulk may help you to save some dollars and guarantee a steady stockpile for longer. 8. All tomato products. Virtually all products made with tomatoes, including tomato juice, tomato paste, ketchup, tomato soup, tomato sauce, canned tomatoes, and tomato puree, are either going up in price or in short supply this fall. This shortage has been brewing since the beginning of the year, when record rainfall saturated California's tomato fields. With the soil still too wet for planting, farmers postponed the season's start by several weeks, which is now being translated into a shortage of tomato-based items. Since this summer, conditions have been worsening according to individual farmers and the California Tomato Growers Association. The most dire predictions for the rest of the year come from farmers themselves, who say some of them could be forced out of the tomato growing business. I don't think anybody is very optimistic about what our yields are going to be this year, said Aaron Barcelos, a fourth-generation farmer who owns A-Bar Ag Enterprises in the San Joaquin Valley, California's main agricultural region, which is known as America's Salad Bowl. You can definitely walk into a store and not see your favorite sauce, he added. You will see increased prices on consumers for ketchup and salsa and other tomato products. The situation is likely to persist until 2024, and if weather conditions do not improve by the next planting season, we may face the same issue all over again. 9. Costco's Peanut Butter Chocolate Pie. Earlier this year, Costco's peanut butter chocolate pie became viral on social media, with several shoppers calling it a jumbo-sized version of Reese's. However, the problem with the spike in popularity is that the item sold out quickly, and up until now, it hasn't made its way back to the stores. Customer complaints show that many consumers are reporting issues with finding these pies lately. One customer said that their local Costco locations in New England are always out of the popular dessert. He said he hadn't spotted any pie since the product launched, adding, "My sadness is deep." Meanwhile, a Costco spokesperson said that the company is currently having trouble acquiring the ingredients they need to make the pies, leading to shortages in warehouses. Supplies of nuts, butter, flour, and chocolate, some of the main ingredients of the pie, are very tight this year. That's probably why the chain is not being able to keep up with demand. 10. Large Christmas trees. It looks like we're going to witness yet another year of Christmas tree shortages this holiday season, and growers are highlighting that 6 to 7 foot tall trees will be the hardest to find. This may be a shocker, but the reason why it's getting more difficult to find Christmas trees dates back to the 2007-2008 financial crisis. This holiday season, there will be fewer trees entering the market because farmers couldn't afford to plant as many new Christmas trees during that recessionary period, explained Jordan Bishop, founder and CEO of Your Oyster. There's been a lot of talk about how Christmas trees will be more expensive this year, Bishop said, and it's not only due to inflation, but also due to these large macroeconomic effects that stretch back 15 years. Christmas trees of that size take about 15 years to grow, he added, so the impact of the financial crisis began being felt in 2022 and will continue to worsen in 2023 and 2024, Bishop predicts. One major grower based in Louisiana, Christmas Tree Farm, said this month that not only will there not be trees sold this year, but there won't be any picturesque areas for photographers to go take family photos on their farm. "I'm so sorry to have to announce, but due to severe drought in our area, we will not be able to open the farm or even allow photographers this year, 2023. We are sorry for the inconvenience, but Mother Nature did not do us any favors this year," the company revealed on social media. Adding that to the recent closings of multiple stores that used to sell holiday goods, we're left with very limited options to choose from. 11. Watermelon. According to AgriLife Today, Texas farmers are reporting declining watermelon quality. Despite an increase in production this year, they're being forced to send fewer watermelons to the market because a large share of them are in poor condition. High temperatures delayed planting season, and heavy rains interrupted harvest this year. Other problems, such as low pollination, also contributed to making the fruit less sweet and juicy, while many became soggy and rotted far earlier than normal. In some organic food stores, watermelons are costing up to $30, so if you see absurd prices at traditional big box and grocery stores, don't be too alarmed. It's happening everywhere right now. 12. Pretzels. You've probably heard some chatter about a pretzel shortage lately. The deliciously twisted baked goodie isn't as present at your local bakery shop this year due to a shortage of ingredients. It's down to flour, yeast, sugar, and butter because they're harder to come by this year. Therefore, many bakers are foregoing the production of this beloved food to focus on other products with higher profit margins. Supply chain hiccups, labor shortages, and changing consumer trends are also some of the factors contributing to this short supply of the product. But next time you reach for those pretzels and come up empty-handed, remember, it's not just about the snack, it's about the bigger picture of how our favorite treats make their way to us. 13. Tinned fish. Now, a few months ago, a new TikTok trend in which home cooks and professional chefs started to share their recipes using tinned fish led demand for the product to skyrocket. Now, producers are even talking about increasing the market by 5-fold by 2027. Due to the popularity boom, many people are still having trouble finding the item in stores, and that's likely to continue after another year of disappointing fish production. While U.S. sales of canned seafood rose almost 10% to $2.7 billion over the past 12 months, scorching temperatures have killed millions of fish, preventing big companies like Bumblebee from meeting the surging demand. Adding that to the recent closing of multiple stores that used to sell holiday goods, we're left with very limited options to choose from. Even though companies are excited about the record profits, canned seafood insiders are quietly concerned that their recent prosperity is also hampering supply chains. This type of artisanal production can't be scaled up easily, explains Patrick Martinet, the founder of Tinned Fish Market. From working with anglers to catch large numbers of fish to distributing out from just 18 canneries across the United States, persistent shortages are going to be a new reality. 14. Chickpeas. The threat of lower chickpea supplies looms again in 2023, according to a leader in the global pulse industry. Although the United States produces chickpeas, most of what we produce domestically is exported, and the chickpeas we typically consume are imported from Mexico at cheaper prices. The problem is that the neighboring country has suffered from abnormally dry weather conditions that have led to mass crop failures earlier this year. To fix the issue, our producers could just reduce the amount of exports and provide more of the grain to the national market, right? Wrong. Due to long-term contracts with other countries, this year's harvest is already being shipped overseas. In turn, our trade partners supply us with other commodities we may need, experts with the Global Pulse Confederation highlighted. But that also means that for now, chickpeas and other products made with the grain will continue to disappear from store shelves. 15. Cold and flu medicine. Just as it happened last year, a steep rise in demand for adult cold and flu medication caused drugstores to report persistent stockouts that lasted for several months. This year, it seems that the scenario will repeat, but there's still a window of opportunity for you to stock up on these items before a severe shortage hits supply chains. Most people wait until the winter to start buying the medications they'll need, but by then it may be too late. In fact, according to Justin Bates, the head of the North American Pharmacists Association, pharmacies are likely to move cold and flu medications behind the counter to reduce theft and hoarding this winter. Now you can still find them at the store, and you can search for sales to make the most of your bucks. With COVID-19 cases rising again, it's only a matter of time before panic buying begins. Don't forget, we told you first here. Now, at this point, let's just pray that another global pandemic doesn't occur, because things could go south very rapidly. Our food systems are still trying to recover. Manufacturing activity has been slowing down for months. Several industries are still struggling to source the products they need. In other words, if another big crisis hits supply chains, we will be far more unprepared to handle the situation this time around. That's why preparedness and emergency stockpiling have never been more important. If you're noticing unusual shortages in your area, feel free to share with us in the comments section. Well, we hope this video has been useful to you, so please stay tuned for more content like this.